Hello, hello. Can y'all hear me? I hope so. Thank you for coming. Am I on time? I think I was actually on time. Go me. Let's see. I pinned a comment while I was finishing up getting ready. I was looking at the chat. We are all vultures, said she's unhinged, and those people supporting her are using this as a proxy war for a different battle. And I could not have said that better myself. Can y'all hear me okay? Is my volume low? Pizza my pizza. I see you. Nikki Hatfield. Hello. Texas 1. Looks like I have one mod in the chat. Jen, I saw you. Is that the only mod I have? I know Yaba's listening, so I'm sure she's here with her wrench too. Prince songs remind me of you. I love your screen name and your avatar. I do love me some Prince. Stuck at home sick. Glad to have this entertainment. Passionate and opinionated. Glad we could be here for you. You had Taco Bell nacho fries. Yum. Not even on Twitter. And I'm like, what the fuckity fuck? Damn it, Amber, you're not on Twitter? Twitter is where it's at. Although I will say Twitter has become quite the dumpster fire. I'm sorry, guys. Hold on one second. Today is my next youngest daughter's birthday. She's 22 years old today, and she's texting me. Looks like she's going to be going to the movies, and she has a question. So give me one second. Okay. I don't know. That's also the same child of mine out of five that somehow, some way, every single time I go live within the first few minutes, she finds a reason to text me. Sometimes I wonder if she's not subbed to my channel. She sees me go live and she just needs the attention put back on her for some reason. She kills me with that. She has impeccable timing. Twitter is hot garbage. Bubble tea bunny, indeed it is. Danny Jean, hello. At work currently, will catch on the replay. Great. IDK, what it's called. I just know where it is. Hold on. She's asking me if it's Cinemark or AMC, and I'm like, I have no idea. I just know what street it's on. How is Harlow doing? Harlow is precious. She is an angel. She's doing very well. Very, very well. She's still a little, anxious. I think she's a little sad that she left her mother and her siblings last night, but we're giving her lots of love. And yeah, the cats are actually doing remarkably well. Mm-hmm. Max is nowhere near freaking out to the degree he did when we brought Paul home. Paul is turning out to be quite the attentive, loving, and curious big brother. He will not leave her alone. But he's like very gentle, and very, he knows to keep his space and be calm. And I was a little worried because, Paul, we call him Pablo, as in Pablo Escobar, because he is a motherfucking savage. And no, he's doing great. And Molly, surprisingly, we thought Molly would go and hide under a bed or the couch for a few days, and she's just like, meh, fine. Like, she's come out and seen Harlow a few times, and she just not acting scared of her or intimidated by her or anything. And Harlow, like, Paul has not actually like gone. I don't think he's actually like gone all the way into her crate, but he'll like stand right at the door and stick his little face in and sniff around. And they've come nose to nose a couple of times, and they're totally fine. And Harlow was not fazed by Paul at all whatsoever. So yeah, Paul is a great boy. She is such a cute puppy. Yeah, I'm relieved. I thought it was going to be worse. Max showed his ass a little bit last night. Like, he went under our bed last night and would not come out. So he stayed the night under the bed. And at one point, I think it was like about 4 o'clock in the morning, for some God only knows what reason, he jumped up onto the bed and he like pounced from Yaba to me and then off the bed. And he ended up scratching that ever loving shit out of my leg when he jumped off the bed. So yeah, and then he jumped off the bed, and that woke us up. So I figured he did that because he wanted to be let out of the room. So I get up and open the door to let him out of the room, and he's back under the bed and will not come out. We ended up having to lift the mattress up and shoo his ass out of there because at that point he was out. Yeah, we were tired. We didn't get home till midnight, like midnight last night. And I mean, yeah, by then it was like 4 o'clock. I was tired. What is Harlow? Harlow is our new puppy. She is a Frenchton puppy, and I don't have any pictures loaded to share with you, but they are on our Twitter. So either me or Yaba's Twitter, you can see a picture of Harlow, our new puppy. Actually, her official name is Jackie Harlow. And yes, she's named after Jack Harlow, who, for those of you who may or may not know, Jack Harlow is from Louisville, Kentucky, which is where we're from. So anyway, enough about that. I know people are just sick to death of the whole Callie thing, and quite frankly, Yaba and I are sick to death of it as well. It really snowballed completely and totally out of control into this. I mean, let's just call it what it is. There are people on the internet, on the Twitter, and on the YouTube, it's mostly on Twitter, who, for whatever reason, decided to take the issue of Callie misleading YouTube subscribers, grossly misleading YouTube subscribers into donating funds under false pretenses, right? Which, let's call that what it is. It's a scam, plain and simple. People who decided to take the fact that Callie was exposed for scamming YouTube viewers out of money under false pretenses, they decided to make it a race war for whatever reason. And it's really sad and it's unfortunate. Callie is absolutely not the first lying, scamming, scammerton, thank you, Cat's Rule, manipulator, that either Yaba or myself have called out and exposed on the YouTube platform for being lying scammers. She's not the first, by far not the first. There's been catfishes. There's been people using other people's identities who've been called out. I mean, hell, there was a whole channel and group of people from the drama community who ran a big time financial scam on YouTube, stealing money, misleading people into believing that their donations were going to be donated to St. Jude to help kids with cancer. And I personally was actually the first one to call that group of people out. And it took a long time for all of the facts to be, uncovered and, woven together. But in the end, it was proven that those people were lying and scamming and misleading to collect money in the name of sick kids, and it didn't go where they misled their viewers to believe it was going, right? Let's be real, if you're calling her out for a completely different reason and the only prerogative she seems to have is race related, speaks volumes about her own defense of her actions. Guilty conscience. Yeah. And, also let's not forget that when, in the days immediately following Yaba and I first presenting this to the community that, hey, look, we're pretty sure this was a scam and here's our evidence, which if you recall, the evidence was literally nothing but clips of Callie's own words and videos and streams that she uploaded to YouTube. And that's it. It was nobody saying, here's this receipt, here's that receipt, this is how I interpret this, this is what this means, this is what that meant. It was literally her own words. Her own words put together so you could see this is what she said and this is what she did. And in the days immediately following that, race was not brought up by anybody, including Callie. It wasn't until people on Twitter, right? In fact, I think it was one person on Twitter is really what sparked it, accusing Yaba of using microaggressions by saying, "Go off, sis." That's what sparked the race thing. And I think that, honestly, when Callie saw that kind of pop off on Twitter, that Yaba was accused of using microaggressions by using the phrase "go off, sis," I think that's when, Callie was like, oh, great, perfect, wonderful, fabulous. That's what we're going to go with here. Right? Yeah, some people on Twitter started that crap. And then, of course, like ultimately, Callie's ultimate goal here was to turn it around and on Shane, right? And put the focus and the blame game on Shane. Tiny Ghost, that's a good question. So, I'm not here to go over the whole race factor of this really at this point, because that's not what this is about. That was never what this was about from day one. And that's the reason why I just, wanted to have this like one last stream to go back to the beginning, right? And just kind of look at the facts, right? Let's just look at the facts and, put all that race crap aside, because all that did was distract and detract from what really happened and what the facts really were. And that is that Callie led the entire community to believe that she was in crisis because Shane up and left her with all of the financial responsibilities, and that was her crisis, that she needed financial help. Bloomers. Hey Sam, I don't ever stay around for the Callie stuff. Can't stand her. I hope you have a great day. See you next time. Bloomers, thank you for the super chat. I appreciate you. And I'll see you next time. Absolutely. Don't worry. We'll be back to regular programming real soon. Moderate Card Maven, what's bothering me is the race thing leaking into viewers being punished, having to pick sides, and being guilty by associating. Thank you for the super chat, and thank you for the comment. I agree. And that's really, really a shame, Shava says her channel is glitching again. Well, you know what? Her channel was quote unquote glitching before the crisis stream and before she was exposed as having scammed her audience. So, I mean, I realize that her and her little friends, her little hug box have convinced her that she's got some sort of legal case against Jabba and myself, that they can prove defamation and that she has suffered some sort of, financial damage due to her, losing over 1,000 subs and her views tanking and whatnot, allegedly as a result of, things that Yaba and I have said about her on the internet. And that's crap. That's bull crap. All you have to do is just go scroll through her channel, look at her views. Honey, your views were tanking long before any of this happened. That Fat Grad, thank you so much for the super sticker. Appreciate you. You're guilty by association no matter what you do or don't do. Feel like it's scaring a lot of people away. It is scaring a lot of people away. And as I see your comments both on Twitter and my chat here, people are tired of it. People are tired of hearing about Callie. People are tired of hearing about this crap. And I mean, quite frankly, I am too. This is not what I'm on YouTube to do. There was a time, yes, where I dedicated my efforts and energy on YouTube solely to go and tit for tat with people. But that's old. Southside Badissi in crisis help. Welcome to Rick's Renegades. Thank you so much for joining the channel. Some of you may or may not have noticed memberships are active. So if you want to support the channel in the form of joining joining the memberships, please do so. I don't have the link readily available, and I know there's a whole bunch of issues with if you're an iPhone user. It's bullshit to find the link and join. I'll address that on the next stream. We'll have a link for you, and it'll be fine. But thank you so much for joining Rick's Renegades. Damn, she's lost 1K. What the fuck? Yeah, but her Sam ain't but bowl. Over. She lost over 1,000 subs. Bubble Tea Bunny, thank you. Welcome to Rick's Renegades. Dar Smalls, then why do you keep talking about it? Well, quite honestly, why do I keep talking about it? Because it's still being talked about. Every day there's new accusations. Every day there's new flat out blatant lies being said. And quite frankly, Callie's the one who keeps both me and Yaba in it, right? She does not, there's not a tweet that goes out, there's not a live stream broadcast, there's not a members only stream where she is not pointing the finger squarely at us, one accusation after the next. So, that's why we keep talking about it. Welcome, No Spoons, Only Knives. Welcome to Rick's Renegades. Thank you so much for joining. Try me. Welcome to Rick's Renegades. I appreciate your support. You keep going over the same points just like she is and dragging this out. Why? Well, I just answered your question. Yaman Ozomi. I do not know how to say your name. Yamanozami? Is it Yamanozami? Yamanozami? I have no idea, but thank you for joining. Welcome to Rick's Renegades. Had to join for the cute whale. That is okay, so the membership badge was going to be swords, but when I did it, I didn't have the aspect ratio right. But at that point, I had been messing around with the whole thing for so long that I said screw it, and I had the aspect ratio right on the whale, so I just made it the whale. The whale was supposed to be a emoji, I think, but whatever. Cats rule. So glad to have you return to Rick's Renegades. Appreciate your support as always. Let's see. I really believe she is, well, Cantel Marie. I mean, that's, if that's what you believe. I'm not pointing fingers, making accusations, labels, or diagnoses. Everybody can come to their own conclusions and opinions on that tip. Azami Zed, welcome to Rick's Renegades. Thank you so much for joining. Hey, Eric's Cook Candle Wall. Glad you could be here. Why should Sam and Yaba stop talking when Callie's still dragging them and her dumbass free spirits are trying to take channels down? Discarded Roses. Thank you. No, Nikki cannot drop the link. She is on the iPhone. Thank you, Nikki, for trying. Cats Rule. Thank you. There's the link to join memberships. If you are on iPhone, I believe you have to take the link and open it in Safari and then scroll over to the members tab. And then that will get you to the link. I'll pin it. There we go. Oh my gosh. Andy Oak, thank you for joining. Techie Mommy, thank you for joining. Welcome to Rick's Renegades. Y'all are so sweet. Thank you for the support. Appreciate you so much. It's like how people are giving Shane crap for not talking. You can't win either way. That's right, Brianna. Absolutely. And yeah, ultimately, when Callie decided to start targeting both mine and Yaba's channels, and she started a targeted campaign against us and started encouraging her members and supporters and subscribers to mass flag us and mass report us on Twitter to Team YouTube in an effort to get our channels taken down. Either A, she really thinks that she's got a leg to stand on and she's going to pull that off and get our channels taken down, which, let me tell you what, that's not going to happen. Or B, she thought she was going to intimidate us with those threats and make us, what? You think you're going to shut us up? No, that's not going to happen either. Evelyn, so good to see you. Welcome to Rick's Renegades. Thank you so much for joining again. I know you were a former Rick's Renegade. It's so good to see you. Hippie Peace, same to you. Glad you rejoined. Welcome to Rick's Renegades. Joseph226, thank you so much for joining. Y'all are so sweet. I appreciate the support. I don't believe y'all beating a dead horse. Odd, it's not coming up. Oh, okay, yeah. It's easier to join on a computer if you have access to one. The link's not pinned? Yes, it is. I see it. Yeah, I see it. Refresh maybe? Mm-hmm. Hey, Kathy Watson. Good to see you. She did the same thing to Negs, and see, that's the thing. She did do the same thing to Negs, and she was successful in getting Negs yeeted off the platform, but this ain't that. It's not the same situation at all whatsoever. Ginger, who is Rick? Rick is Whiteboard Rick, and he's the mascot for our company softball team. It's a whole story. Don't worry about it. How long until her supporters start doxing and calling CPS on other people? Yeah, we've heard chatter about that too, haven't we? OG love for a true OG. Thank you so much. Hippie peace. P-Day. Did you find it? All right, well, so let's get into it. We're not going to be here very long, I hope. I just wanted to kind of go over some points because there's this argument being made on behalf of Callie that Callie never asked for any money in that crisis stream. And that's it. Like, as far as, and it's mainly this Bryn 10 on Twitter who keeps trying to drive um, this point into the ground that Callie never asked for money. She never asked for money. Never once did she ask for money. And while that may be true, that she never once said, I'm in crisis, give me money, right? That doesn't mean that it was never implied in any way or that wasn't the overall tone. You know, you can ask for money without saying the words, right? Exactly, Cat's rule. Sad fishing and e-begging. So, luckily, thankfully for us, the crisis stream is not that long. It's just over an hour long. And I have some. Exactly, Faith. I have some timestamps that we're going to look at in the crisis stream. So let's do that. First, I have to bring up my picture in picture because I had the wrong one up. I have some. Actually, wait, no. Before we do that, there's a DM message that I received last week. And this is from somebody who has been a longtime supporter of Callie's channel and of Callie. And she reached out to me via DM last week, and she gave me permission to read this DM on my live stream. So I'm going to do that. Let's see. Hold on. There we go. It's long, so there's actually like five screenshots. So yeah, I'm gonna read that, and then we're gonna look at a couple timestamps in the crisis stream and go from there. I'm not going to be watching chat, obviously, where I read the DM, so please bear with me here. So my name is, and I redacted it. This Twitter is just one I use to lurk and look at foodie beauty stuff with, and I just wanted to say thank you to you and Yaba for speaking up about the stuff with Callie. I'm fairly new to your content. Actually, the very first video of Yaba's that I watched was the first video you both did on DC Media Girl, and fell in love with you guys. Fell in love with you guys and your content immediately. P-Day, thank you for the super chat. I just want to say that Sam and Yaba has my personal information. We fell out over a year ago, and yes, I'm sure I talked crap. Neither of them touched my real life. They blocked and moved on. I'm not afraid of either of them. P-Day, thank you for the super chat, and thank you for saying that. Let's see. While there have definitely been things I didn't see eye to eye on with you guys. Wait, sorry. While there have definitely been things I didn't see eye to eye on with, you guys were like a breath of fresh air in girl world content. Anyways, I did used to watch Callie. I was subscribed to her channel and watched every video and live stream of hers for the past 2 years now. I was never a member because I don't have the most stable income and I don't have a lot extra just laying around. While I'm not one to comment on a lot, I still always felt like a valued member of her community. That was up until the crisis stream. I clicked it on and immediately felt so horrible for her. being an audience member of hers, I felt the heaviness of what she was expressing. And she invoked in her previous experience being homeless and how she didn't want to go back to that, but she would if she had to. And I was so very, very close to scraping up the last bit of my paycheck to send her via PayPal because I felt like she was on the verge of losing everything. I figured I'm stable right now and I have this extra $30. It may not be much, but it'll help and hopefully others can add to it a little bit. And I legitimately felt like I would have been helping to keep her safe. While she is now going off the narrative that she never explicitly asked for funds, having been an avid viewer, I felt an emotional obligation, especially since she invoked the time of her being homeless in the past. The only thing that gave me pause during that moment was seeing your and Yaba's tweets. My gut reaction. Hold on, I gotta find it. Here we go. Oh, no, not that one. There we go. My gut reaction was that you both were being insensitive and didn't understand, but I did because I knew Callie and she would just never make something up. But then as I rewatched a little bit, I did start to see some red flags after looking at it more objectively. So I didn't send money, but still watched her videos and figured I could always send it later, but I wanted to be careful. Then you guys went over the stream and I saw more red flags. And eventually when you exposed it as a full scam and I saw that members only stream where she said she couldn't tell the public about where the funds went to, I felt like such a fool. But I'm forever grateful that you guys spoke up and I was able to hold on to that money for my own rainy day. I felt my trust was betrayed, and seeing how she spoke in her members' streams made me feel unappreciated as a regular audience member. And then with her further villainizing anyone who felt differently from her after the fact made me completely ostracized. And I haven't watched a video of hers for weeks now. I think the cult aspect is almost right because even when things were blatantly in my face, I couldn't see it until it was pointed out, and even then I still didn't want to believe. I really hope other people see it too and don't feel emotionally manipulated into things. Seeing all the shit she's putting you guys through sucks. But do know that you saved at least one person from getting scammed that day, and I'm really, really thankful. Also, really enjoyed your stream today. It was nice getting a little history lesson. Goofy dumb, goofy hoe bitch. Thanks for joining us. Marsha Zacher, thank you for joining. Welcome to Rick's Renegades. So, that's another thing we keep hearing over and over again is that nobody who donated feels like they get scammed. None of the free spirits feel like they get scammed. If none of us have a problem with it, what do you guys care, right? This is my problem with paywall transparency. She kept saying she hides nothing, but not everyone pays a membership to see those transparent secrets. Exactly, Coffee Bean. Some people need to realize it's okay to be disliked by other people. No one can be universally liked. People have different opinions. It doesn't mean the person who doesn't like you is a bad person. That's why I stopped watching right when she posted the crisis stream. I watched a few minutes and couldn't take it. Nikki Hatfield, not to put you on the spot or to call you out, but when I was rewatching the crisis stream, I was also keeping a close eye on the chat, and I actually took several screenshots of things that were said in the chat. And Nikki Hatfield, I noticed that you were in that stream and you were giving her support. So I'm curious. Again, you don't have to answer. You can totally, completely ignore what I'm saying. You don't have to answer at all. But just because I did notice you in there and I noticed you giving her support, I'm just curious, like at this point, after everything you've seen and heard at this point, how do you feel now, Nikki Hatfield? Do you feel like you were misled in that stream as you were watching it? What are your thoughts? And again, you can just completely ignore it. Totally fine. I realize I'm putting you on the spot. I realize that by, speaking on it at all, you could be putting a target on your back. So if you ignore that question, no problem. It's totally fine. If there's anybody else in the chat watching right now who was in that stream, who was supporting at the time, or, you know, maybe whatever the case may be, if you feel, you know, like you were led to believe it was one set of circumstances and you feel differently now, feel free to say that if you feel safe too. Let's put it that way. I almost said Makeup Maggie because so many people have makeup in their names. Wake Up Maggie, thank you. Welcome to Rick's Renegades. I appreciate you joining. Pizza of My Pizza, goddamn. Sam and Yaba are the real MVPs. The community you guys have formed proves so much. I love and respect you and Yaba both. Thank you for everything you do. Thank you so much, Pizza of My Pizza. Oh, you don't see anything? You should be seeing. Anyway, I see my thumbnail. I'm watching it. So, let's see. There was that email I just wanted to share. And that's not the only one. Like, that's not the only person who supported Callie prior to the crisis stream, and even for a while after, who, you know, changed their minds and have reached out and said, man, you know, thank you. Thank you for letting us know. Because honestly, if we hadn't shown clips of that stream that she did with her members 3 days after the crisis stream, where she admitted that she used the money to fulfill her Amazon wish list and to furnish her apartment and to buy nice, pink, pretty things, you know, a lot of people wouldn't know. They'd have no idea that they had been duped, right? Nikki says, I was there. I was believing her in the moment and thought she was legit in crisis. Soon after, I felt absolutely hoodwinked. I hadn't watched her for long and didn't know her history. Thank you, Nikki. I appreciate you answering that. Hez, welcome to Rick's Renegades. Thank you so much for joining. And I don't think Nikki's, you know, the only one who felt that way. She literally made a big deal about Alex putting a banner on the live with her PayPal. I think Drag did specifically say Shane dipped on his financial obligations, which was really shady. Yes, he did. Thank you, goofy dumb, goofy hoe bitch. Mainly Maine, welcome to Rick's Renegades. Thank you for joining. Miss, is it Sanguine? I don't know how to say that. Welcome to Rick's Renegades. Thanks so much for joining. Doe-Eyed Donkey, welcome to Rick's Renegades. Thanks so much for the support. Amy D, welcome. I was in there so new. I hadn't known who Shane even was. My perception was some horrible sudden breakup had happened and she wasn't going to be able to pay rent. Like if my partner bailed. Yeah. Jess says, haven't watched and unsubbed after the crisis stream. Always felt like an outcast because she made it a point that her paying members were the only supporters who mattered. Nikki Hatfield, they've already come after you. I'm so sorry, dude. So Callie and her cult are going after Michael now. But are they going to go after Charlie, who liked all of Michael's tweets, subtweeting Callie? Oof. That's a good question. Pizza of My Pizza, don't worry, we'll get you there. I appreciate your support. That panel was definitely off-putting. As soon as I saw that assemblage of henchmen, I was like, what the fuck is going on here? Same. Let's not gloss over the fact that she mentions she has to pull all resources in the crisis stream. Yeah, so let's get to that. Hold on just a second. Oh, I already have it. Okay, good. Picture in picture. Okay, so 2 minutes, 30 seconds approximately is the first timestamp I have where Callie mentions asking for help. Gretchen, thank you so much for joining channel memberships. Welcome to Rick's Renegades. We appreciate your support. Snarky Puppy, I watched Callie a little here and there, but never followed her too closely. It's easy to see how someone that doesn't follow closely or for very long can get sucked in. Exactly. And again, like I'm not, the purpose of this stream is not to defame anybody, right? Or to slander anybody. We're literally just reviewing what happened, right? Like, there's obviously a large group of people who see it as that she misled and that it was a scam, right? Like, it's not just me and Yaba like saying this over and over, and the whole rest of the community saying, no, you're wrong, you're wrong, it was totally legit, she didn't scam anybody, you guys are crazy, you're just trying to destroy her, right? No, there's a large group of people on this platform, literally in the hundreds if not thousands across this platform, that, you know, up to this point, it's been a little over a month since we started reviewing this and presenting this, who agree. They feel duped. They feel scammed, right? And then we've got the other side who are like, you guys are, you're just trying to destroy this black woman, and you're defaming her, and you're in cahoots with her ex, and you're just trying to take her channel down, and we're gonna haul you into court, and it's gonna be defamation, and you're cooked, and we're also gonna take your channels down because you're, you know, blah 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 blah. Well, I mean, this is I guess my way to defend me and Yaba one final time, put all the mess aside, go back to the issue at hand, drill down on it, and look at it one last time. Moderate Carb Maven, thank you for joining Rick's Renegades. I appreciate your support. Kayla, welcome to Rick's Renegades. Jennifer Smiley, can't do a monthly pledge. However, I try to throw Yaba a tip occasionally, and we'll do the same for you. I think you're both awesome people. Jennifer, thank you so much for the super chat. I appreciate you. When you put the pieces together for people and they don't see it, they don't want to see it. Exactly. You're literally just using her own words. Exactly. And see, here's the thing. Here, hold on. Doe-eyed Donkey said, Callie here thinking she's Johnny when she's really Amber. Exactly. Like, the bottom line is, right, if let's say we were to be officially accused and hauled into court for defamation, right? All we have to do is prove that the claims that we're making are true. And it's not that hard to prove that Callie held a live stream 1 hour, 17 minutes, 13 seconds and led a group of people on the internet to believe that she was in a crisis. The name of the stream is I'm in Crisis, for Christ's sake. That she was in crisis, that she was unsafe, that her ex had left her in in a compromised financial situation, regards to their lease and paying rent or whatever, and that she was asking for help. And that in the end, 3 days later, she holds another live stream and says, I can't say anything publicly, but I just want y'all to know this is what I did with the money. I was able to buy everything on my Amazon wish list, and I'm redoing my apartment, and I can't wait to share with you what I've done with the place. Funny Girl 1920, welcome to Rick's Renegades. Thank you so much for joining. Oop, hold on, I hit the wrong button. Close that. Okay. So 2 minutes, 30 seconds approximately. Here we go. Let me know if you guys can't hear it, okay?
Because I hate asking for help. I hate it. I hate it. I hate asking for help. I hate it.
Okay, so that's 2 minutes, 30 seconds in the live stream. She's talking about asking for help, right? Does she come right out and say, I hate asking for you guys to donate money to me? No. But she's here. She's on her live stream. She's in crisis. And she's saying, I really hate this, you guys. I hate that I have to ask for help. Well, what kind of help could she possibly be talking about, right? Like, if the help that she's seeking, right, from this live stream is just, I'm going to hold this live stream. I'm going through something really serious. I need thoughts and prayers, right? I need thoughts and prayers. That's the best way you can help me, is just by supporting me, giving me words of encouragement, giving me suggestions for, services that might be able to help me with whatever I'm going through. First of all, why would you not say that just off top, right? If you're not fishing for monetary donations and monetary contributions, why not make that clear in the very beginning? Listen, guys, I'm not here asking for money. There's also a point, and I'm not sure that I got the timestamp for this because at the time when I first heard it, I don't think that I really um, recognized what, like, the reason for it. But when she brings her panel guest up on panel, it was Mossum, Alex Glitter Queen, and who is the other one? I forget his name. Drag. At first, they are interacting with the chat and they are answering chat questions, and she shuts that down real fast. She tells them, don't worry about the chat, don't address the chat. She doesn't want them interacting with the chat and answering questions in the chat because there was a lot of comments in the chat just pretty much off top saying, what can we do to help her? How can we help her? What can we do? Right? And I think that her making a point of asking her chat or her panel guests not to interact with the chat and her specifically not using the words I'm asking for money or anything along those lines, I think that was very specific so that she could after the fact use that as a defense. I never asked for money. And here we are, what was this, 2 months later, that's exactly what we're seeing. The people speaking on her behalf and Callie herself are saying, but I never asked for any money, right? So keep that in mind. There is a timestamp later on that I have, and we'll come back to that point when we get to that timestamp that I think is also very telling. Let's see. Hold on. This is a screenshot from the chat, and this was actually 19 minutes into the stream. Mod by the name of Lauren says, is there a way we can help in the way of a safety plan for Callie? Because she was talking about safety quite a bit. And that was never discussed, which I find very interesting and telling because there was a lot of talk about safety, Callie's safety, and yet when her mod in the chat suggests that is there a way we can help in the form of a safety plan for Callie, that was not discussed. That wasn't brought up or addressed. Which you would think above all else, right? If safety was really at hand or an issue here, that would. Why not? You've gathered hundreds of people in this live stream telling them you're in crisis, telling them you're unsafe. Why not use that as an opportunity to, accept ideas and conversation from, a group of people on what we can possibly do to form a safety plan for Callie? And that was never discussed. Facey McGee says, I have unsubbed from Callie. Facey McGee, you're in that chat quite a bit. I noticed that, and I was wondering if you would at some point speak up and let us know where you are in your support for Callie. So Facey McGee says, I have unsubscribed from Callie. So you're one of the 1.3 thousand subs and counting who have unsubbed from Callie and have pulled their support. Facey McGee, we'll just leave it at that. You have to bear with me. I have a lot of screenshots that I have loaded up into my OBS, so I'm having to scroll through to find them. It's really a little ridiculous. Okay, so let's see. 40 minutes. So we're all the way like I mean, there's a couple other timestamps I had noted, but I'm gonna skip those because they're really not that important. But we're at 40 minutes into this live stream, and Alex Glitter Queen is talking, and she says something that I found interesting.
Go and escape to your happy place.
And I think that you know, the important thing to think of too is what's going to happen moving forward. Like Callie, I think that the best thing would be for we've talked about you going home and being around your support system, because that's a lot. I couldn't imagine moving all the way, for somebody that to just have them up and leave me. So I think that getting you back home is what's important right now. Getting you back to your support.
Okay, so that's Alex Glitter Queen saying that she feels what's important at that point is to get her back home, get her back to where she's safe, back to her support system, back to her family. And Callie even says out of her own mouth 3 days later in her I'm Feeling Better members only live stream that going back to where she's from, back to where she came from, where her family is still part of the plan. It was always part of the plan, right? But she really alluded on the stream to, I can't just up and leave. So there was a lot of talk in the chat about people donating to fund Callie's move back to her hometown where she's from, where her family and support system is. Angel Tattoos, exactly, applying she needs money to move. Great Caesar's Ghost, kind of off topic, but I wonder how much that Jose guy supports her channel these days. It all went downward when that stuff happened. Thank you for the super chat. That's a good question. And also, let's not forget that Callie also admitted that she was able to help Jose financially with some of the proceeds from this crisis stream. So let's not forget that. This is a screenshot of her mod Cass saying, yes, PayPal is the best way to send money. So there in the chat, one of her mods indicating that PayPal would be the best way to send Callie money. And I get it that that's not Callie asking for money herself. But again, that's her mod letting the chat know that they can send her money via PayPal, which sends the message to the chat that the purpose of this live stream is to let you all know that she's in crisis, and that the biggest factor of the crisis that she's in is a financial crisis, right? Because there's a lot of talk about how Callie needs money and how you can get it to her. This is Oceana Song saying, what does Callie need right now? So there's a lot of, and this isn't the only one. There was lots of people in the chat asking, what can we do? What does she need right now? How can we help her? How can we help her right now? Ninjaman, welcome to Rick's Renegades. Thank you so much for joining channel memberships. I appreciate you. Murphy Smith coming in late, but coming in hot as always. I appreciate you being here. So good to see you. Here's another screenshot from the chat, and this is our Facey McGee, who admits now she has since unsubbed from Callie. What can we do for Callie? So there's a lot of people questioning in the chat, asking, what can we do? What can we do? But don't forget, Callie told her panel members, don't address the chat. Don't answer their questions. Callie, what should we do for you at the moment besides sending support and love? Callie's links are in her description. Her PayPal is there, everyone. Oh my God. Hold on a second. Girlfriend, do not come in my chat. Well, it's too late now. It's there. Even if I delete you, it's still there. Devin, I will text you back. I told you my kids know when I go live. Are you kidding me? Is that... Hold on. Devin, get out of my chat, number one. I saw your text come through that said, "Why is this man shirtless?" But I thought you were talking to your sister. So my daughter's watching and she asked the question, "Why is this man shirtless?" It doesn't matter, Devin. Jesus Christ, get out of my chat anyway. Callie's links are in her description. Her PayPal is there, everyone. Oceana Song, who I believe is in my chats. If she's not here right now, I do see her pretty regularly. Oceana Song, how can we help you? And there was no discussion there was no answer to any of these questions that people were asking of how we can help her. It was not, you guys, just support, just moral support. You can help her by supporting the channel, make sure that you're watching her videos, supporting her content in that way, so on and so forth. The only indication of how you could help Callie during this stream was PayPal and Super Chat, PayPal, and Cash App, right? I think they even specifically said, don't send her Super Chats. She needs the money right now, type thing. Here's Fragile Like a Bomb saying Callie's ex-fiance abandoned her physically and financially. Here's this one, Simply Krista. If you want to help Callie financially right now, please send to PayPal or another service so it's available to her immediately and YouTube doesn't take a cut. She needs immediate funds. Here's one that I found interesting that never went addressed or answered. Can someone tell me, please, the crisis? I know about the breakup. Has something else happened? So there was question in the chat, in the stream, as it was happening. What's the crisis? Oceana Song. Yeah, Oceana Song. I have no problem with Oceana Song. Like I said, they come in my chat. There's a lot of people who were in the chat of this crisis stream, like I said, who were giving support to Callie at the time, who are now, seen regularly in my chats and Yama's chats. The focus or the reason that I'm putting these screenshots up is not to call out the people themselves. It's what's being said that's important, because nobody knew at the time. During the stream, a lot of people didn't know or didn't recognize that they were being duped, right? Can someone please tell me the crisis? I know about the breakup. Has something else happened? This was the first super chat that she got, and she got it pretty quickly in the beginning of the stream. And then I found it, Tweet T, you were there as well. I remember your name from the chat. I found it interesting. This $100 super chat came in towards the very beginning of the stream. And then there was not much more activity as far as super chats going on for quite some time in the stream. And it wasn't until I think Callie recognized that she wasn't really getting a lot of donations, right? And that's when she turned the tears on and turned the waterworks on. But this super chat for $100 says, hey girl, I know this isn't a ton, but I hope it helps you get wherever you need to stay safe. Please know we love you and we're here for you. So this donation was intended to help Callie get to wherever she needed to stay safe, right? This one, again, it says, how can we help, love? And it's a mod. And this one, this is a comment in the chat at the 1 hour, 4 minute mark of the stream. And the stream itself was only, what was it? The stream was only an hour and 17 minutes. So, an hour and 4 minutes into this hour and 17-minute long stream, people are still asking, how can we help? What can we do? And they're not saying. Dogs are medicine. Thank you for the super chat. If the panel with her friend, in the panel with her friends, she refused to post her own Cash App PayPal. She kept making Alex post for her to pin. You're the one e-begging. Why are you making your buddy do it for you? She knew it'd look better for someone else to post them. Exactly. Murphy, what did Cecil say? Cecil said she signed another year on the lease while saying she didn't feel safe in that state. Excellent point. Thank you for bringing that up. Hold on, I'm looking for... Okay. This one, this is a mod in her chat who says, I'm feeling like he did something physical to her. And this was never addressed because, I guess because she said don't address the chat, right? But that wasn't addressed, nor was it corrected. Dylan actually made 2 comments in the chat. I had them both, but I guess I only dragged one of them over. But twice this mod said, I feel like he did something physical to her. And the second comment was actually like definitive. Like, no, he definitely did something to her physically. Okay, so hold on. So the last timestamp we looked at was Alex telling her, like, basically, like, we need to help you get home, right? And to which Callie replies, I don't have the luxury.
And I will get there one day, and that's always been in the plan, and that's my problem.
Mm-hmm. So she says it was always in the plan for her to go back to where she came from, back to where her family is.
Me getting back to my support and my base was always a part of the plan. It was never not a part of the plan. In fact, it was a joint plan, but I can't just up and like tomorrow or tonight. Any person, I know it's probably like rational to be like, well then girl, pack your shit and dip now. I'm not in that position. I don't have the luxury.
So she says she's not in the position to pack her things and move back to where she came from, back to where her family is. Even though that's always been part of the plan and that's what she, wants to do, she's not in the position to do that. She doesn't have the luxury to do that. So what message is that sending to the people who are watching, right? That she doesn't have the money to do that. When I say I'm not in a position to do something, like right now, let's say it were me, right? And me and Yaba break up. Well, there's no reason for me to stay in this area. I'd probably move and go back to where my family is, right? 5 hours away. And if I sit here and tell you all, look, we're broken up. There's no reason for me to stay here. I want to move back to where my family is, but I am not in a position to do that. What are you going to think? What message is that sending? What's the implication there? That I don't have the money to do it, right? I'm not in a position to do that. I don't have the luxury of doing that. Her job is on YouTube and she's single. That sounds like luxury to me. Exactly. There's not a job, that's keeping her there where she's punching the clock every day, reporting to work in an office or a factory or whatever the case may be. Right?
Because I'm responsible. Like I'm still at a loss, okay?
You just can't, got 8 months on lease. Now, let me just walk away and just abandon that. It's tied to my name. that's not how.
And that's drag saying that there's 8 months left in the lease, but there wasn't. Callie has told us that the lease was up in March, and this crisis stream was on February 16th. So the lease was up 2 weeks after this stream. It sounds to me like Shane moving out 2 weeks before the lease is up, that would have been the perfect time for her to move home, right? 40 plus life, it has absolutely nothing to do with the Negs legal situation because there's nothing that says that either party has to remain, like there's no law that says Callie would have to remain in the state she's currently in until the end of that legal process with him. No, absolutely not. That case would continue on whether she was in that state or not. Now, she'd want you to believe that that's what's keeping her there, right? Because that sounds like it's a pretty solid excuse, one that people can't argue with, but that's just not the case. Frankie the Chihuahua, if she wasn't looking for money and didn't want the chat addressed, why go live? Why not have a private conversation with her friends? Exactly. Psych for Life says, the shirtless guy calls out Shani for the same shit Callie's doing here. That's very interesting, isn't it? Joda says, just don't renew the lease and move. Her people would have helped her with that, I'm sure. And I think a lot of people who did help her thought that that's what they were helping her with, to be honest. That is when he should move out. It was perfect timing. There's no reason she needs to stay here. She would just have to fly back for court or have her lawyer appear in her place. Actually, I'm pretty sure that that court situation, that the hearings are all taking place via Zoom. I don't think so.
How stuff works,
and that's a whole nother problem. That's a whole nother problem in itself, and I'm gonna keep that where that's at because that's a whole nother. Because I had to have that conversation, and that's a whole nother issue, unfortunately. And I hate that it's come to this. And
listen, and I know there's been some like that Brinton and some other people. They've been speaking up and beating their chests, trying to explain to all of us how it works when you lease an apartment, right? Like once you're in a lease, you can't get out. Like that's impossible. You can't get out of a lease, and if you do, you're going to destroy your credit and then the rest of your life is ruined. And that's just not the case. There are a lot of reasons that you can legally get out of a lease and not be held responsible for the remainder of it. And then there's also reasons that might not fall under the legally protected reasons why a tenant can get out of a lease without suffering any consequences for it. I mean, come on, put a 1 in the chat if you're old enough to know how it works when you are in a lease for a house or an apartment and something comes up and you need to get out of the lease. Like, is it black and white, cut and dry, that getting out of a lease early for whatever reason, no matter what, will destroy your credit and ruin your future? Absolutely not. Honestly, especially present day, during/post COVID and whatnot, if you just go to your apartment complex manager and be like, yo, my boyfriend up and left and I cannot financially fulfill the obligations of this lease, will you let me out of it? I guarantee you there's not a landlord or rental company in the country that would not gladly let you out and let somebody else in who can pay that lease for that, pay the rent for that unit, right? Especially what the housing market as it is right now. I mean, I don't know how many of you out there right now are looking to move and looking at either way, rentals or to buy, right? It's next to impossible. Like, I don't know how people who are like, who have maybe either faced eviction or even in this situation, where, you know, a relationship broke up and one party needs to move out, or whatever the case may be. I don't know how people are finding rental units right now, whether they be apartments or houses. Like, they're not out there. Cost $500 to break my lease if you wanted to. Your landlord broke your lease for free. I talked to him how my ex left and he helped me out. Exactly. I mean, evicting tenants is not cheap. It's not, absolutely. Sublet. I used to sublet all the time. Listen, last year when I moved in with Yaba, I was in a lease for an apartment. I'd signed a 1-year lease in January, and come May, Yab and I, we kind of looked at each other and were like, what are we doing? Like, I was paying $775 a month rent on an apartment that I was literally never at. Like, maybe 2 or 3 times a week, I would stop by there to get a thing or two out of it or whatever. But the whole 6 months I had that apartment, I think I slept there twice. When I had my granddaughter down here, like, it was ridiculous. And I literally just went to the landlord and I was like, look, man, this just isn't financially feasible for me anymore. Like, I can't continue to pay $775 a month rent here, and I'm not even using the unit. I'm sure, you know, with the way the housing market is right now, somebody out here can, you know, use this. You know, somebody out there needs a 1-bedroom, right? And he was glad to let me out of the lease. He's like, yeah, sure, no problem. Matter of fact, one of my employees would like to move into the unit. Have a nice day. Yeah, it was only 7. Well, okay, so the apartment I lived in, it was my landlord owned a business, and upstairs from the business, it was 2 apartments. I mean, they were nice. It was nice. But the rent was real cheap. Because it wasn't like an apartment complex. If it was an apartment complex, it probably would have been a hell of a lot more. But even $775 for a 1-bedroom, I mean, that's $900 for studio. Anyway, we're not talking about rent rates right now. But the point is, like, it's not an automatic, like, oh my God, my whole life's going to be ruined if 2 weeks before the end of my lease, I have to go talk to my leasing office and be like, yo, my boyfriend just up and, you know, dipped out on me. I don't think I can financially uphold the obligation of this lease by myself for the next 12 months. I guarantee you they would have let her out of it. If she had re-signed at that point, but not in this stream, but in subsequent streams after that, she definitely said that she had not yet renewed the lease at the point in time in which Shane left. Murphy Smith, thank you for joining Rick's Renegades. Always glad to have you. Thank you for the support. $3,000 for a 2-bedroom. Where the hell do you live? Don't answer that in public. Danny Jean, currently looking to move out of my ex's house but my credit is shot to hell from things I did when I was 18 to 20. It definitely comes back to haunt you. Danny Jean, thank you for the super chat. Totally. California is crazy. Good Lord. How do you even... Anyway, let's see. 42. So this, I really think, is a really important part of the stream to listen to, especially in response to Callie and some of her diehard supporters kind of trying to hide behind or use the excuse or the shield of she never asked for money. She never asked for money, right? Listen to this.
Asking for help, but I know I need help. And if I hate asking for help, but I know I need help. And if nobody knows, and no one will be able to help me.
So I hate asking for help, but if nobody knows, then nobody will be able to help me, right?
I have done some things to try and figure it out, but a lot of stuff is pending. But as far as a clear roadmap, yes, no. I do have a PayPal and I do have Cash App. I am not doing a GoFundMe.
I do have a PayPal and I do have Cash App. I'm not doing a GoFundMe. I'm just going to bop that back so we can listen to it again. Bren, are you listening? Are you listening, darling? I'm going to give Bren a moment to turn her volume up. Listen close.
Dark as hell. And it's the truth. And I hate asking for help. But I know I need help. And if nobody knows, then no one will be able to help me. I have done some things to try and figure it out, but a lot of stuff is pending. But as far as a clear roadmap, yes, no. I do have a PayPal and I do have Cash App. I am not doing a GoFundMe. I won't.
So why is Callie explaining why she can't and won't do a GoFundMe while saying she does, however, have PayPal and Cash App if the help she is seeking is not monetary? Bren, can you help us with that? Are you here? Of course you are. Lindsay with an A, get a reliable job. Paychecks will be consistent. Yes. That's right, Sarah.
Also, if you think about GoFundMe's, I literally can't because of certain issues I have. Location. I refuse. Okay? I have to protect myself the best way I can. I am talking to my members, about other options. Honestly, the most that you guys can help me, and I'm about to say what I say to my...
Santiago, GoFundMe requires accountability or at least more than PayPal/Cash App. Thank you.
Awesome, Alex Drag, and everybody on the phone. Y'all talking to me and just providing me company has been amazing.
Now, watch closely what happens right now, right?
Also, to all the free spirits, Callie pinned the PayPal. Oh, right. Okay, I'm sorry. Alex, do you mind typing it so I can pin you? Because, I'm going to address everybody. All of you guys who've been patient, especially over the month.
Oh, there's the tears. Now because we're 44 minutes into this stream, and at this point, 44 minutes in, she's only received one super chat. That super chat for $100 that I showed the screenshot of. So 45 minutes into this stream, and she's only made $100, right? That's why she finally was like, damn, it's obvious. She's like, this is not going well. I'm not getting super chats. I'm not making the money I was hoping I would make. So she just had to pull the trigger on it and say, I hate asking for help, but if I don't ask, how are you guys going to know that I need help? I do have PayPal and Super Chat, but I won't do a GoFundMe. Yes, I'll pin my PayPal. And I'm not putting words in her mouth. I'm not paraphrasing. I mean, I am paraphrasing, but you know what I mean. This is literally how it went down.
I've told my life story and I've told my truth before, but I am pouring myself. And I'm living in my full truth, as painful as it is. And that's what my tweet meant the other night. At least now I can fully live in my truth, but it's dark as hell. And it's the truth. And I hate asking for help. But I know I need help. And if nobody knows, then no one will be able to help me. I have done some things to try and figure it out, but a lot of stuff is pending. But as far as a clear roadmap, yes, no. I do have a PayPal and I do have Cash App. I am not doing a GoFundMe. I won't. Also, if you think about GoFundMe's, I literally can't because of certain issues I have. Location, I refuse. Okay? I have to protect myself the best way I can. I am talking to my members, about other options. Honestly, the most that you guys can help me, and this is, I'm about to say what I say to Massam, Alex, Drag, and everybody on the phone. Y'all talking to me and just.
To me, that seems like she made her pitch and closed the sale. Pin my PayPal. Yeah, exactly. So again, why is Callie explaining why she can't and won't do a GoFundMe while saying she does have PayPal and Cash App if the help she's seeking was not monetary?
Also, to all the free spirits, Callie pinned the PayPal. Oh, right. Okay, I'm sorry. Alex, do you mind typing it so I can pin you? Because, like, I'm going to address everybody. All of you guys who've been patient, especially over the months.
Hold on just a second, because I'm pretty sure this is not the actual stream, this is the one that I downloaded and uploaded. Let me go to the actual replay. I'm pretty sure the waterworks coming on, the tears coming on, coincides with that first, or I should say the second super chat. So 45 minutes in, she's only made the one super chat so far. She finally, just comes out and says it. I need help. I need money. She pins the PayPal. She pins the Cash App. And bam. Super chat, right? And there's the tears. Let's see.
Thank you for your patience. Wait a minute.
Yep. $49.99. I'm a pretty bitch, Sarah. Why is she naked? And she didn't do GoFundMe because she would get dragged from her wig to her toes. Love Sham, and I'm a member now. Thank you so much for joining, Sarah, and thank you for the super chat.
Through my channel glitching and everything. Through losing subscribers and everything. Thank you for your patience. There's a lot that I've been hiding behind my smile.
Seattle Fatty, you didn't get a notification? Well, you're here now. I'm glad you're here. I've been looking for you.
This is the bulk of it. This is the bulk. This is what I meant when I said I'm tired of being looked at as a strong woman, because sometimes when you're perceived widely as strong, people will just leave you to deal with things and be like, she got it. That's what I meant on Monday. This is what I meant. But I'm tired and I'm human too. And sometimes, yes, I do need help, even though I don't like asking for it. And all I want is...
Sometimes I do need help, even though I don't like asking for it.
But I need help right now, and I don't know what I'm going to do. And it sucks. It sucks so much.
That Fat Greg, thank you for joining. Welcome to Rick's Renegades. I appreciate you.
I need help right now, and I don't know what I'm going to do.
I need help right now, and I don't know what I'm going to do. Auntie M, thank you for the super chat. February 1 through 18, ending balance $4,215.55. Sent this info directly to me since she was so comfortable sharing my personal text to her. Thank you for the super chat. Auntie M, why on earth did she send that to you of all people? I'm curious.
Wait a minute.
Here, Callie, she got real worked up and the super chat started coming in, right? Oh, Yaba. Thank you for joining Rick's Renegades. Thank you for your support. 4701, Callie's all worked up. She's been crying. The super chats are coming in, right? So she's going to go off camera and compose herself. And here's Drag.
I believe there are links in the description if people are looking to help out Callie. I can't see it right now, but I've been told that the links are there.
I do this in every single damn stream. I forget to pin the links and all this. I have a banner that will scroll. Let me turn it on. I'm so sorry. Alex, baby, can you get it and I'll pin you? I'm so sorry.
Does this not feel like you're sitting in the middle of some sort of sales pitch, like one of those timeshare condo sales pitches? Auntie says, I still don't know myself. She sent this and her rental decision to me with a long-ass letter. Maybe she didn't mean to send it to you, Auntie M, because I can't imagine why on earth in the middle of February Callie would send Shane's aunt her AdSense balance.
I believe there are links in the description if people are.
Oh, hold on. I'm so sorry. Snarky Puppy, thank you for joining Rick's Renegades. Thank you so much for the support. Thrilled to have you. Elira Sand, welcome to Rick's Renegades. Thank you for the support. Glad to have you. Is this a right? That's more like, yes, a telethon. It does feel like a telethon, doesn't it? Yeah. So here Callie is deciding she needs to pull herself together. Now that the super chats have started rolling in, she's going to go ahead and pull herself together because she's so worked up and upset, right?
I need to. I need a minute.
I believe there are links in the description if people are looking to help out Callie. I can't see it right now, but I've been told that the links are there.
I do this in every single damn stream. I forget to pin the links and all this. I have a banner that will scroll. Let me turn it on. I'm so sorry. Alex, baby, can you get it and I'll pin you? I'm so sorry. Oh my god. That's all my stuff on the back.
She need to go check her PayPal, Murphy Smith. Is anybody the theatrics? That's right, Plantain Sweetie. Send in your seed money. Is anybody else noticing that she's dry? Where are the tears? She keeps sniffing. Do my sniffles sound about the same as hers right now? Let's listen. Here's mine. Can you hear me? Can you hear him?
Oh my god. That's all my.
They sound the same, don't they?
Sorry. Alex, baby, can you get it and I'll pin you? I'm so sorry. Oh my god. That's all my stuff on the banner scrolling. Thank you.
She's a dry girl. Jay Curry, welcome to Rick's Renegades. Thank you so much for joining memberships. I always appreciate your support. Not a tissue in sight, not a tear in sight. By her continuing to say I need to protect herself is a way to gaslight and manipulate her audience. I'm a few minutes behind. That's okay, baby.
you guys so much. I'm sorry. I forgot.
Same sniffles, no tears. There were never any tears. She ain't crying. Don't fence me in says, so basically Alex is Callie's bitch. Got it. That's right. No tears, but all cash apps are rolling. And her voice sounds fake shaky. There's no snot in that nose. That's right. She needs some onions. Sounds like a dry nose you have. It is actually mainly mine. I'm sitting here with this fan on. I have to keep putting chapstick on. I too am a dry girl. Angela Tattoos, thank you for joining my memberships. Welcome to Rick's Renegades.
Forget all the time. I really just wanted to get this off my chest because I am also doing this as a part of my safety.
She keeps saying that. I'm also doing this as a part of my safety, but she won't elaborate on that. My toddler and middle child can produce tears better than hers, right?
Because
I'm working on emojis, I promise.
I gotta get myself together.
I gotta get
Give me a
myself
minute.
together. You just give me a minute. Exactly, Manders. Thank you for saying that.
Thank you, Mossam, for being there. Callie definitely mentioned you a few times, especially very, very recently, that you've been a tremendous help in her life.
Anytime. It's, like for me, the whole and I've told Callie this before.
Shut up, Mossam. Although, I take that back, Mossam. Matter of fact, I don't want you to shut up. I'm just going to fast forward to an interesting part of what you have to say. And they've talked about this beforehand. Seattle Fatty, welcome to Rick's Renegades. Thank you so much for joining. Rosie Posey, welcome to Rick's Renegades. Thank you so much for your support. Hold on. Angel Tattoo says, again, I go back to her stream with Nova. She said the money was for taxes. What does her safety have to do with that? Yes, there was no mention of taxes in this stream at all. There was also no mention of an Amazon wish list. There was no mention of furniture. Psych for life. Shirtless guy calls out everyone for scamming and begging, but yet does this. Hypocrisy is real. Seattle Fatty, they're all liars and trash. She's about to put some Vicks under her eyes. She would have done better doing that for sure. Noodles of Oodles, welcome to Rick's Renegades. Thank you for the support. All right, listen to what Mossam has to say. And don't forget, Callie did say, she admitted that she talked about this stream before she did it with her members and her supporters. She does admit that.
Clearly, Alex and Drag are here for you. The free spirits are here for you. There's and the thing too is there's always going to be somebody who's going to be negative about the fact that you need help. We can't help those people, we can't help it. It's there's always going to be somebody who's going to be negative about the fact that you need help.
There's always somebody who's going to be negative about the fact that you need help. Flutterby ASMR, thank you for joining Rick's Renegades. We appreciate you. Terry Lynn, same to you. Thank you for joining Rick's Renegades. We appreciate the support. All of this drama weeks later, and she's still a scammer. That's right.
Free spirits are here for you. There's and the thing too is there's always going to be somebody who's going to be negative about the fact that you need help. We can't help those people.
Notice how she just popped back on camera as soon as Mossam said that? Turning her camera on and off. So Mossam says, there's always going to be someone who's going to be negative about the fact that you need help, right? Callie pops back on cam.
We can't help it.
I'm not interested. I don't care. I know that streams like this get a bunch of whatever in the hell. I don't care. I will literally...
What?
Help those people. We can't help it.
I'm not interested. I don't care. I know that streams like this get a bunch of whatever in the hell. I don't care. I will literally ignore it. What better
First of all, streams like this, what do you mean by streams like this or streams like these? P-Day today, #damage control. Thank you so much for the super chat. Anna Allen, this stream is a prime example of why Shane left without a warning. Who knows what kind of abuse she would have claimed if he had a face-to-face confrontation with her. She'd have that man in jail. Anna Allen. Exactly.
I'm not interested. I don't care. I know that streams like this get a bunch of whatever in the hell. I don't care. I will literally ignore it. What better serves my time? And I told you guys this before because I knew that we were gonna.
She said she does not care. She knows that streams like these, you mean fundraising streams, Calandra. Streams like these, you mean streams in which creators come on and e-beg. Thank you, String Cheese. E-begging streams. Tina Coley, thank you so much for the super sticker. You know that e-begging streams.
What better serves my time? And I told you guys this before because I knew that we were gonna have to prepare.
She just said it. I told you guys this before because I knew that we were gonna have to prepare. So she's telling you, she's telling on herself, she's admitting that she did talk about the stream, that they had a little strategy meeting, right, before the stream.
You can't help it.
I'm not interested. I don't care. I know that streams like this get a bunch of whatever in the hell. I don't care. I will literally ignore it. What better serves my time? And I told you guys this before because I knew that we were gonna have to prepare. What better serves my time? Arguing with people who want to condemn me so much on Twitter or on YouTube, or literally trying to save my life right now and figure it out. I don't know.
So that tells you right there that this stream was always meant to be a fundraising stream. Hey, Our Lady Chantal Perpetual Poutine. She talked about this with Mossam, with Alex, with Drag, with her members before the stream. They knew that they would get shit for e-begging, for using her breakup to e-beg, right? They knew it. They already knew it. They talked about it ahead of time. And she said she already knew. She didn't care. She was going to ignore it. Exactly. Literally trying to save my life right now and figure it out. Those are her words. Let's listen to it again because I love this shit.
We can't help those people, you know? We can't help it.
I'm not interested. I don't care. I know that streams like this get a bunch of whatever in the hell. I don't care. I will literally ignore it. What better serves my time? And I told you guys this before because I knew that we were gonna have to prepare. What better serves my time? Arguing with people who want to condemn me so much on Twitter or on YouTube, or literally trying to save my life right now and figure it out. I don't know. One of them is kind of heavier. And I'm not saying that to be like an asshole to you guys, but I am tired. That's why I separated myself, and that's a different conversation, but I'm over it. I don't give a damn.
I don't give a damn. Aaron Ritter, roll that beautiful being footage. Paul, I'm gay too. Lucky Lola, thank you for becoming a member and welcome to Rick's Renegades. So, as far as I'm concerned, I mean, if we're wrong, right, and the whole purpose of this stream was not for her to solicit monetary donations by misleading her chat into believing that she was in danger, that her life was at risk, that she was going to lose her apartment because she talked a lot about Shane leaving her, having to pay all the bills and the rent, then what was it? I didn't hear any talk of, you guys, I need a safety plan, right? Even though people in the chat mentioned it. Is there any way we can talk about a safety plan? No, there was no discussion of that. It was all money, 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 money. The last timestamp I'm going to play for you guys, I just found this interesting because, you know, during this live stream, during the crisis stream, Callie, you know, she started out by saying, you know, I don't want any hate going, you know, to anyone, meaning Shane or whatever. And she was very vague about things. And it wasn't until after she was called out as a scammer that then she tried to turn it all around on Shane and, you know, insinuate that Shane was abusive, narcissistic abuse, you know, blah, 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 right? And really, the only receipt, well, two receipts. One, right, the picture of the lighting equipment that was laid out on the floor. That was one of her receipts trying to prove that Shane was so abusive towards her. And then also, the other thing was her showing this screenshot or this clip of, like, back, I think it was maybe in September, where she was live and she said something or she pinned a comment and Shane was in the chat and said demonetized, and then she got real upset and ended her stream. You guys know what I'm talking about? Right? That's like what she's using as like proof that Shane was just so horrible and awful to her, right? And it was so traumatic, and she's living in her trauma. And it's all narcissistic abuse, emotional abuse. You guys remember that? Well, listen to this.
Looker, okay? To me at
He
least.
is.
Demonetized.
Well. Tune in next time for me.
Okay, to me.
Now, at this point, February 16th, during the crisis stream, none of us had heard about this traumatic experience with Shane typing the word demonetized in her chat, right? We hadn't heard that story yet, had we? Interesting, isn't it?
He is.
Demonetized.
Well. Tune in next time.
Stabler is a looker, okay? To me at least.
He is.
Demonetized.
Well. Tune in next time for
Crazy, huh? Crazy. It was all fun and games. It was real funny. Demonetized was a joke until she thought she could use it to victimize herself. Thank you, Psyched for Life. Mm-hmm. So this is the members only stream, and many of us have already seen the clips from this stream. We've been referencing it quite a bit, where we say 3 days later after the crisis stream, when she made everybody believe she was in danger and that she was going to end up losing her apartment and that Shane had left her busted and broke and holding the bag, and that she didn't know what she was going to do. She didn't know how she was going to figure it out. And her safety, her life, her safety, her life, right? Okay, this is literally 3 days later. And we'll just let her words speak for themselves. Hippieista, welcome to Rick's Renegades. Thank you so much for joining channel memberships. We appreciate your support.
So, I want to start off by thanking you guys, okay? Because a lot's happened in just a few days. Because it's kind of what happens when you mix real life and internet. But
a lot's happened in the last few days, because that's kind of what happens when you mix real life and internet. Oh, aha. Angel Wings, welcome to Rick's Renegades. Thank you so much for supporting the channel. She bought that shit for her bathroom right when she got that money. She did. That's why she ended the live stream. She had a Amazon wish list she needed to get to fulfilling, right, guys?
I feel you. So, I want to start off by thanking you guys, okay? Because a lot's happened in just a few days. Because it's kind of what happens when you mix real life and internet. But I want to thank you guys so much for all of your help this week, and the way my community pulled through for me, the way my community really represented for a bitch and really pulled through for a bitch.
I love y'all for real, because let me tell y'all something. So you all remember when I was like all like nervous and scared and everything, and I've been nervous and scared about like a lot. Um, and I thought I was gonna have to like drop my Amazon wish list, but I didn't want to like redox myself, right?
Remember when I was nervous and scared and I thought I was going to have to drop my Amazon wish list? There was no talk in that crisis stream about I have an Amazon wish list. And that's what I'm nervous and scared about. Nervous and scared that I might have to drop my Amazon wish list.
Well, well, I was gonna wait, but I've already put some of these things into motion, and I think that you all have a right to know, since that a lot of my members, you guys gave me that jumpstart push. I'm not gonna have to share my Amazon wish list. I got it, cause y'all came through for me. I'm straight. Like, I was shocked, and I was very pleasantly surprised. And when I woke up on Thursday morning, I was like, y'all came through, okay? Y'all came through. And I'm working on some things, and I'm taking the necessary steps. I hate to talk like this, you know, like, but I have to due to everything going on. But the most positive news and the biggest thing that I'm excited about, so high key.
Hold on. The most positive news and the biggest thing that I'm excited about.
But the most positive news and the biggest thing that I'm excited about, so high key, the free spirits just like, right, I know, Alex, like I'm like y'all just help me get furniture.
Come again. What? The most positive news and the thing that you are most excited for is not that I'm safe now, right? It's not that Roxy Red, keep up the awesome work, Sam. Thank you so much for the super chat. It's not that you're now safe, right? No. It's not that you can now afford your rent. No, that's not it. That's not it. It's not that you saved your house. No, no. No. It's that now she can afford furniture.
I want y'all to understand. Because even like the free spirits just like, right, I know, Alex, like I'm like y'all just help me get furniture. Going on. But the most positive news and the biggest thing that I'm excited about, so high key, the free spirits just like, right, I know, Alex, like I'm like y'all just help me get furniture. I want y'all to understand. Because even though, like, okay, if I'm paying 90% of everything, I never had much for furniture, and I could never plan to get actual furniture for the house, because if you can't have the small conversations.
Sam, she deserves to live in comfort that all the pink furniture can provide her. Come on now. This actually makes me angry. Reality check. It should. Yes, her tattoo spelled wrong, but the funniest part about the fact that one of the words on her tattoo is spelled wrong is that it's the word to. T-O. That's the misspelled word. The misspelled word is to. Instead of T-O, it's spelled O-T. Sam, please mention Callie's fake-ass email reporting Shane to authorities, cropped out date and recipient.
You can't have the big ones. Okay. I'm working on some things and start off.
Okay, hold on. I'm going to let this play again. Bryn, are you here? I'm going to let it play again. I'll be right back.
Hey, Lynn. Hey, Haru. Hey, Haru, welcome. Welcome to my Free Spirit memberships. You are like the only new person so far. I love this. It's like a girl slumber party vibe. I feel ya. So I want to start off by like thanking you guys, okay? Because a lot's happened in just a few days. Because it's kind of what happens when you mix real life and internet. But I want to thank you guys so much for all of your help this week, and the way my community pulled through for me, like the way my community really like represented for a bitch and like really pulled through for a bitch. I love y'all for real, because let me tell y'all something. So you all remember when I was like all like nervous and scared and everything, and I've been nervous and scared about like a lot. And I thought I was gonna have to like drop my Amazon wish list, but I didn't want to like redox myself, right? Well, I was gonna wait, but I've already put some of these things into motion, and I think that you all have a right to know, since that a lot of my members, you guys gave me that jumpstart push. I'm not gonna have to share my Amazon wish list. I got it, cause y'all came through for me. I'm straight. Like, I was shocked, and I was very pleasantly surprised. And when I woke up on Thursday morning, I was like, y'all came through, okay? Y'all came through. And I'm working on some things.
Make sure my mic's back on. Okay, Noodles of Oodles. Her hug box deleted my question when I asked how buying furniture kept her safe. The hug box keeps her safe. Thank you so much for the super chat. So, I mean, this is it. This is all it really boils down to, right? We just watched the crisis stream. We just watched her private members only live stream from 3 days later. Was there any mention of taxes? Was there any mention of leases, of rent, of bills, of finances? Lord Baroque, thank you for the swords. No, this was always about, and this is, she said, I think in the crisis stream too, but she said it since that she had to do something quickly. When Shane left and he took everything and he just evacuated the apartment, she has said several times that she had to do something quick. She had to do something quick. And here's what I think it is. I think that Kat, and she says that she bossed up, which we all know she didn't boss up, because bossing up isn't lying to people on the internet to e-beg for money and mislead them. I think what she meant by bossing up was showing Shane that I don't need you and I don't need your stupid furniture, and you can leave me and evacuate and take everything and leave me in an empty apartment, and I will boss up and I will furnish this apartment with my own things, with brand new shit from the front door to the back door, from the top to the bottom, in every single room. And I'll do it in record fucking time because I'm a boss ass bitch, right? In fact, she even discloses that Shane had something to say about the fact that she that she furnished the apartment, right? She said that was his passive aggressive comments when he came back over to the apartment and some of her stuff, her new stuff was there. I think honestly that is what this all boiled down to. She was never unsafe. She was never in any financial crisis. She was never in any crisis at all to begin with. She was never in danger of losing her apartment. She was never in danger of her lease not being renewed. She was never in danger of not making rent. It was not a matter of not being in a position to move back to where she came from to be near her family, because she didn't intend to do that at all. This was about, he left, and she said it over and over again, that he left her in an empty ass, echoey ass apartment. So she had to do something quickly she had to get up the money so she could furnish that apartment and show him she didn't need her. Or she didn't need him, sorry. And the craziest part about this is this live stream was February 16th. YouTube payday's the 21st. She was getting her AdSense YouTube paycheck on the 21st. 5 days later. When this members only stream where she says what she did with all the money that she got the furniture was on the 19th, she was less than 48 hours away from getting her monthly YouTube paycheck. Unreal. Hold on one second. At least she has an apartment, the entitlement she has, yeah. She was tempted by the pink. So I was debating whether or not I was going to play this clip. Actually, there's two. Because I'm really over the whole race thing, right? Like that had the race has nothing to do with this. It never did. It was just this situation was just being used as an excuse, right? But there was something that was said specifically about me and the fact that I am the mother of 5 black children. And this was actually said on Twitter weeks ago, right? And it was said by one of, I hate to even say this because I'm really not trying to add any fuel to any fire between me and or Yaba and any other creators, because this really doesn't have anything to do with other creators. Like, it doesn't. This is between me and Yaba and Callie at this point, because Callie is threatening our channel and she's threatening to bring lawsuits against us and she's threatening to have our channel shut down. But I just feel like it's important to point out that this isn't just some viewer who is it's not just some viewer who has a Twitter account or whatever. Sarah, you super chatted me? Thank you for the super chat. I'm sorry, I did miss it. Oh, I think that was when I was going to the bathroom. What word is spelled wrong on her tattoo? And Sham, I love you, and Yaba, have a drink on me. Thank you so much for the super chat, Shara. The word that is, I said Shara. Sorry. The word that's misspelled on her super chat is two. Instead of T-O, it's, did I say it right? The word that's misspelled on her tattoo is two. Instead of T-O, it's spelled O-T. It's hilarious. Anyway, this isn't just some viewer, right, that's on Twitter who said this. This person is actually a mod on, well, I'm just going to say it's on another big name creator's channel. Just leave it at that. Are you coming to take her to go potty?
Do you go potty?
She's go potty. She's been eating her food.
Okay, she gotta go out potty.
I just had to text Yaba to come get Harlow and take her potty because she was doing a little crybaby.
Come on, baby. Come on, don't pee.
She don't like to be. Yeah, you know what I've been doing is pulling the blanket towards me and then have to take her. Otherwise, she goes all the way to the back. She don't want to come out.
Yeah.
Oh, he's gonna go potty now. Okay? Do you need treats to take with
yeah,
you?
Where's the treats at?
They're in the pantry on the shelf. You might need to turn the light on. I told you she don't like it. Oh, you know how to get her out of there. Look at you.
I gotcha.
Oh, you just gotta go potty now, okay?
Go potty.
Oh, I love you so much. You be good and go potty. Let me know if she goes potty.
I will.
Don't forget the water and the treats.
I know.
Okay.
Where's the treats at?
In the pantry. Sorry, guys. That is the puppy, yeah. Her kennel's in here in our bedroom. Yes, we got a puppy. I'll pull a picture off of the Twitter and I'll put it on the screen before we end the live stream. So, let's see. This is the tweet. And this was from weeks ago. It says 1 day ago because when it was screenshot at that point in time, it had been a day. This was in response to me saying on Twitter something about the fact that my family's black, right? I am the mother of 5 black children. All 5 of my kids have the same dad. We were married for 26 years. And I was a part of his family for almost 30 years. So the reason why I said that on the Twitter, this was way back when all this race stuff first started, when I'm just going to call it like it is, say it what it was. Several black women in the community felt like Yaba and I needed to sit down and shut up and be, quote, educated by them on race matters, right? And I sat quietly and I listened and I took it and I wasn't saying anything. But when it got to the point to where it was obvious that they were just demanding that we, sit down and listen to whatever the fuck it was they felt they had the right to say to us, right? I tweeted something to the effect of, I don't know. I forget exactly what my tweet said, but it was something, and I posted pictures of my family. In fact, the pictures I posted were from the prior weekend when I had gone up to where my kids live, and I was there for my grandson's 3rd birthday party. So we had quite a few members of our extended family, and my kids' dad's side of the family were there. Aunts, uncles, cousins. And I said, if I need to seek the guidance or information or be educated by black people, I need only turn to my own family, right? Something to that effect. So this was the tweet that Bubble Butt Booty Meat Jones, I think her name on Twitter or on YouTube is Bay's Pinky Toe, says you can be an ignorant, dismissive jackass and still let black men nut in you. I just felt the need to say that because I feel like some people don't realize it. And I take a lot of offense to this comment. For one, this is reducing my place as the mother of my 5 black children and my now 5 black grandchildren, reducing that down to I let black men nut in me. First of all, you're assuming men plural, which is disgusting. Okay? It's just gross. The whole thing's gross. So with that being said, Mainly Maine, I will back you, Sam, if channel goes down. Money, thank you so much for your super chat, Mainly Maine. I appreciate you. So there it is. There's the tweet, right? There was the statement that was made, right? And Callie brought this up again, I believe yesterday or the day before. And the reason why she brought it up again is because, I guess it was 2 days ago, I went into a Spaces that was, let me make this very clear. The Spaces that I went into was not being hosted by a black woman. It was being hosted by a white woman. Okay, so don't forget that. And when I went in there, basically, I was told that I was going to sit down, shut up. I was muted. And then these several black women just started yelling at me and whatever, cussing me out, whatever the case may be. And I left. As soon as I got muted, I left. And I went to Twitter and I said, the opportunity to discuss anything related to race with me was lost when my place as a mother who gave birth to, nurtured, raised, loved, educated, and protected 5 black children for the last 28 years was reduced down to, you let black men nut in you. I also said, I will never forget the absolute disrespect that was shat all over my work as an activist for people of color in my community. The nerve of those same people demanding I respect them for what? You don't deserve my respect and you will never get it. So I tweeted that, and that is why Callie brought it up again in this clip. And the person who's speaking at first is that B. Arthur's ghost. This is the same spaces that I went into, and the reason why I am making a point of saying that this spaces was not hosted by any black woman. It was hosted by B. Arthur's ghost, who is a white woman. And the reason I went into the space is because this was the spaces where B. Arthur's ghost, the white woman, was accusing me of calling her job and emailing her job and doxing her. That was the reason I went into the spaces, to confront the host of the spaces, B. Arthur's ghost, a white woman, about accusing me of doxing her, calling her job, and emailing her job. It's important that that's pointed out and made very clear.
Been nutted in by a black man does not, in fact, make you an anti-racist or race advocate of any sort. I mean, it tells me that.
And when we talk about that phrase, impregnated by a black man,
notice how Callie twisted the words of the phrase that was used. You see very clearly on this tweet the words that were said. You can be an ignorant, dismissive jackass and still let black men nut in you. Not impregnated by. That's not what was said, Calandra. But please continue.
those are Sam's words. People are repeating her own words that she utilizes on Twitter to victimize herself. I don't believe that anyone in Spaces ever minimized Sam's existence down to that. However, people notice how she minimized her own existence when it came down to that, because every time people clock the racist shit and the microaggressive shit going on Twitter and in chats, they saw, right? Like, hey, you're condoning this. Hey, you're allowing it.
So there's that. Mainly Maine, and how did you get that info? Don Lon wanted me to ask you. Mainly Maine, thank you for the super chat. And I'm going to tell you here and now, because I'm being accused for this doxing, I'm being accused of doxing this B. Author's Ghost. The tweet about somebody tell B to unblock me so I can tell her how I know she's not a lawyer. That's the tweet. That's what was said. Somebody tell B to unblock me so I can tell her how I know she's not a lawyer. This is what I knew about B, and I'm going to go ahead and say her name because it's been all over Twitter and YouTube now in the last 24 hours. This is what I knew about B. Arthur's Ghost. I knew her first name was Maggie. I knew that she was part of a different community that came from Periscope, and when Periscope was shut down, they moved over to Twitter Spaces. I knew that she had, within the last 3 months or so, been run out of that community because she had been exposed as having lied about being a lawyer. And yep, that's what I knew. That's everything I knew. That her name was Maggie. She came from Periscope. She got run out of her last community because she got exposed for having lied about being a lawyer. That's all I knew. And that's all I was going to tell her. I was going to tell her, this is what I know about you. And I was going to tell her that how I knew it was some dude named Don Laud. That's all I knew. Haley Phoebe says, how is Sam being a victim by saying she's not racist and she'll check with her family members that are black to see if what she's saying is a problem? Isn't that the exact opposite of being ignorant? Thank you. I'll have you know that the black women in that same spaces that Callie was playing referred to my family, the black members of my family who they don't even know, don't know the first thing about, as coons. Literally called my black family members coons. And for what reason? Disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. The last thing I'm going to play is the clip of the recording of that same spaces. This is where I went into it because there's a lot of chatter going on saying that I kicked the door in on a spaces that was being run by black women, that it was a black only spaces, which I don't care if black members of the community decided to make their own spaces, black only spaces, and if that's where they feel safe. I have no problem with that. I've never talked shit about it. I have no problem with it. Do what you're gonna do. If that is what you feel you need to do to be safe in this community and have your spaces, I have no problem with that. Never have I, indicated otherwise, right? But again, that spaces that I went into, that you're going to hear a clip of me going into right now, was not being hosted by a black woman. I did not go in that space to address the black women in there. I went in that space, and you'll hear it, to confront the white woman who was hosting it, B. Arthur's ghost, for accusing me of doxing her and calling her job.
If Sam is in this space, put her on the mic. If Sam is in this,
that I believe is Bryn's voice you're hearing. So this is the spaces that I went into under my own name after I heard B. Arthur's ghost accused me of doxing her and calling her job. Sam, I have black kids and is with a black man, and somebody on Twitter was like, oh my God, he downgraded to a white, but I'm a Native American. Thank you for the super chat.
Space, put her on the mic.
Sam. Hi.
Who? I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'd love to hear what
Who called?
the lovely John.
Who made this phone call?
I don't
No.
know. Who did it?
We got a lot to address. We got a lot to address. You're not gonna come in here asking questions.
So Sam entered the space. Sam. So this is Sam entering the space, and let's see how her behavior plays out. Please remember who DM'd Sam. Please never forget. I think this member stream I'm going to lay out with timestamps and organization in case I ever have to publicize it. Never forget who contacted Sam. Never forget who aligned themselves with Sam.
Oh my God, shut up, Callie. That has not a goddamn thing to do with what you're about to play. Abso-fucking-lutely nothing. Shut up.
Yaba to come at me. Never forget.
Sam and Yaba were already coming at you before Shane ever came in my DMs, and that is easily proven because the first DM that Shane came to me with is dated. And it's dated and time-stamped, and it's literally after Yaba did 2 streams on you and dropped the hour-long expose video on you. Knock it the hell off, you dumb bitch.
Forget how this played out. I showed that screenshot. Look at all that
has nothing to do with any of this. Shut up.
Has happened. All because people are mad that I laid boundaries. I was tired of their shit. There's disrespect with disrespect. That stream is. However, people are still mad. So I did what? I matched same energy. I matched that disrespect with disrespect.
Shut
that
up.
stream is still up.
Play the spaces.
I have several points, but behavior. This is who. This is Sam. This is her behavior. This is who my ex is aligned with. This is what he supports. This is what he condones. This is who he is.
We're gonna be asking you the questions.
Okay.
Boo Boo McGee, she talks like a low rent televangelist. She does. Thank you for the super chat.
Yeah, okay. First of all, who the fuck do you...
For those asking about Bryn, the person speaking right now, that is Bryn 1010. That's who's talking.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. First of all, who the fuck do you think you are to sit on your fucking platform and disrespect black women and black people the way you have? You got the wrong fucking one. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about that. You don't get to take to your platform. Are you still? You don't get to take to your platform and antagonize black people and then block us all and not be accountable. That's number one. Number
I'm
two.
sorry, hold on.
Number two.
Let's address
I'm
these.
still
Shut your
talking.
mouth.
Let's address.
I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm a mute. Go ahead.
Tell me how I antagonize black women.
I'll tell you how you antagonize black women. For example, and I would like to get it all out before anybody else says anything.
So now, I'm gonna drop you.
Oh, okay.
I don't want anyone to interrupt you.
Okay.
Yeah, can we mute everybody but black women and black people generally? I appreciate that.
Okay, so Sam, for example, I just tweeted you about what real allyship was. That is not just saying I have black children, which I believe that you have black children. A lot of people have black children. And it's not just saying that I was an activist.
Let's stop there. Hold on. No, because you're not going to sit here and misrepresent what I said. If you're
what you're not going to do is interrupt me because
what you're not going to do is misquote
yes, I will do.
or misrepresent
yes, I will do.
anything I said.
Yes, I will do because what are you going to do
No, you
about
won't.
it?
Because if that's what this is
yes,
going to be, then I'll go ahead and I'll go onto my platform that isn't this ridiculous ass spaces.
B, can you mute her? Because you're not going to speak to me like that. And that's the exact problem. I tweeted you and I said...
And I was muted and I left. And then I went over to Twitter. And I tweeted regarding my having left that spaces, if I can find it. I said, what y'all won't do is misquote or misrepresent anything I've said and then try to chastise me with that bullshit. And you sure as fuck are not going to muzzle me and think I'm going to sit there and take that shit. Because she thought she was going to sit there and completely misquote and misrepresent what I said and then use that to call me to task. Like, no. Like, if you want to talk about something I said that, was wrong, then you need to be accurate with it, okay? And they weren't. And she wasn't. And when I tried to stop her right there, and, all I was going to say is that. Like, if you're going to try to use something I said against me, then be accurate with you. Exactly, Midland. She said, yes, I will misquote you. And she said, what are you going to do about it? And then they said, mute her. Bren said, B, mute her. Now, why did Bren have to have B mute me? Because it was B's spaces that she was hosting, a white woman. But then later on, they go on and on and on, and I'm not going to find that clip because I don't care to, but they go on and on and on about how I had the audacity to enter a black only spaces, and blah, 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 blah. So, again, completely misrepresenting what actually happened. And then, of course, later on Twitter, Bryn 1010's all saying that I came in there and I got my ass cussed out and I ran away. No. Bryn, tell the truth. I left the spaces when I got muted. And had I not been muted, I would have stayed and I would have dog walked every last one of them, and they know it. Yeah, that's what they do. That's what they did to, I forget who it was that went in there before me, but they dogpiled her too. It was really disgusting. Okay, let's see. Harlow. Give me 1 second. I'm going to put a picture of Harlow up here for you. Because I know you're all waiting to see that. She's the real star of the show, huh? Let me find it. There it is. Oh, wait. Where's my OBS? There it is. Bam. Hold on. Let me find my chat again. Can y'all see Harlow? Is she not the cutest thing you've ever seen in your whole life? Tell me how cute she is. It was Fatty White. Thank you, Seattle Fatty. Yeah, Fatty White went in there and they completely dogpiled her and talked to her. They didn't just talk to her like she was a total piece of shit. They told her she was a total piece of shit. There was this one girl that was completely out of pocket. The level of disrespect. And Fatty White was completely respectful. She did not go in there being disrespectful. She wasn't calling people names. You know, she was being very respectful. She was taking it, you know, she was answering their questions honestly. And I mean, they just ripped her apart. It was really disgusting the way they treated her. And she was actually invited to come in. Like, somebody asked her to come in. Baby Harlow, there she is. Also, well, no, I'll leave it alone. Seattle Fatty, I was surprised she stayed that long too. For real. I was too, Seattle Fatty. Psych for Life says, Harlow looks like Yaba in the best way. You're so funny. Captain Napton, so good to see you. Captain Napton says, so the claims of racism all came from the tweet about potential fraud. Not the tweet. It was like live streams and videos. But yes, basically, yes. All the racism shit popped off because Callie was exposed as being a fraud. Captain Napton in the chat, you are from the OGDC, day one. How many, before Callie, before this woman, Queen Ty is as well, roughly, how many people who have lied about their identities and literally scammed the YouTube community for money have Yaba and myself exposed in the 5, almost 6 years we've been on YouTube? Oh, Techie Mommy, you did. I'm so sorry. I did see that. Hold on. Let me scroll back. I'm so sorry. Thank you for reminding me. Oh, shit. Now I can't see it. Oh, Techie Mommy, I'm so sorry. I did see your super chat. Thank you so much for the super chat. There's no way to listen to that Spaces now that B deleted her Twitter. String Cheese, actually, you can. If you can suffer through Callie stopping it. Callie's live stream from yesterday, she plays it. But she, oh my God. But she comments all through it. What the? Aww. Yeah, but just sent me pictures of Harlow outside. She's so cute. And a video. Hold on. Why is she so cute? Oh, she's playing. Aww. I love her so much. Techie Mommy, I'm so sorry I missed your super chat and didn't read it, but I appreciate you so much. Will you type back in the chat what you said? Just in the chat so I can read it? Queen Ty says, so many, too many to count. That's right, Queen Ty. Literally dozens. Dozens of lying, scamming ass motherfuckers on the YouTube have been exposed by Yaba and or myself over the last almost 6 years. Captain Napton says, girl, LOL, I can't count, but y'all have always come through with receipts. Yes, we have. Nepturnal, yeah, 5 hours. I refuse to sit through that mess. I agree. Tish Gullidge, thank you so much for the Cash App. I just got that. It came through. Thank you. I appreciate your support always. Let me send my reply. I appreciate you so much. What would you do if Callie did a panel with you and Yaba? Adele. What do you mean, what would I do? First of all, we wouldn't entertain a panel with Callie because she's just, it would be pointless. It would be absolutely pointless. It would be just one big attempt for her to gaslight us, and that's never going to happen. Callie made a whole final post about leaving Twitter and did it. She did, though. I think she left for like 26 hours or something. Yeah, she came right back. Erin, thank you so much. Oh my God, it is almost 3:30. It's about time to get the kids off the bus. Palette cleanse with a puppy video, please. I can't show the video, though, because she's outside where we live. And we would, yeah, we can't. Unfortunately, we can't do that. We don't want to be doxxed. Oh, well, thank you for joining channel memberships. Welcome to Rick's Renegades. I appreciate your support of the channel. Absolutely. Always. She looks more like a Harley. No, she's Harlow. Actually, her name is Jackie Harlow, as in Jack Harlow. Techie Mommy. I was in the last spaces yesterday, and it was sad how Brenton has them manipulated. I had to unfollow Charlie. I can't believe how this is going down. Bren left the spaces because they allowed B. Hold on. Then I lost the second part. Shit. I can't find it. Hold on. They allowed B. Dude, I should be able to find it. What the hell? To talk. Okay, to talk. Okay. Ugh, that was difficult. Cesaro Beach Ball. I'm sorry that happened to you on Twitter, Sam. No excuse for that. Please know not all black women are like this. Thank you so much for the super chat. And please believe I know very well that that's not the case. I do understand that. And for those of you who don't know, there's a lot of you in the chat who do know this. You actually knew me when this all was going down. But I know these same women on Twitter have called into question the validity of my work as an activist in my community. It's documented. It's all over Twitter. There was a time when I literally took a break from YouTube and I was doing nothing but community activist work, and it was all over Twitter. It was during the 2020 presidential campaign, 2019, actually 2018, 2019, and the beginning of 2020, but mostly 2018, 2019. And I was hitting shit really hard and heavy during the presidential campaign. It was all over my Twitter and even my YouTube. Like, I did live streams from Board of Public Safety meetings, from city council meetings. It's just a whole thing. And for them to even question the validity of the work I did, or even doubt that I did that work, really is disgusting to me. Auntie M, I would just like to thank you all who have seen Callie for who she really is and your support for Shane. Auntie M, thank you so much for the super chat. Absolutely. Seattle Fatty, Bryn is the type of female to jump you. Bryn is the type of female to jump you. She's only a badass when she has backup. She's all talk and knows Callie is wrong, but is making it about race. Seattle Fatty, thank you for the super chat. I agree with that 100%. And that's also, there's speculation around the internet about Bryn's identity, who she really is. And in fact, there's speculation that she previously had a YouTube channel. And I think that's right. I think that who they think she is, I think they're right. I really do. And that's a part of it. The fact that she knows Callie's wrong and she's making it about race. Agreed. As a person with the name Jackie, I am honored. BTP, I'm so glad you're honored. Hippie P says, Pete Buttigieg doesn't like Sam, I don't think. No, Pete Buttigieg. Do you know, okay, so during my work as a community activist, I actually worked with national news outlets quite a bit. And when Pete Buttigieg withdrew himself from his presidential candidacy, I got a text message from the managing editor of one of the national news outlets that I worked with. And he said, Samantha, do you realize that you quite literally single-handedly derailed Pete Buttigieg's presidential campaign? And I did, and he knows it. No one, I repeat, no one can question or dismiss your work as an activist, period. Captain Napton, thank you so much for the super chat, and thank you for saying that. Yep, you've been following me from day one. You know exactly how hard I worked. on behalf of my community. And I'll tell you this, I mean, I was already doing some activism work before this event took place, but it was the Father's Day 2019 murder of an unarmed black man named Eric Logan by a known racist South Bend police officer. It was that murder that really kind of catapulted me up to, really, it was at that point that I started literally going night and day, around the clock, nonstop, working for the people of my community in an activist role. And that's a disturbing case. It really is. That officer should have been charged with murder, and he got off, I can't say scot-free, because they did end up charging him for solicitation of prostitution or some dumb shit, but he really should have gone down with murder, and I tried my damnedest to make that happen. What did Pete Booty do? Never liked that guy. Boo Boo McGee. Pete Buttigieg is absolutely one of the most racist, corrupt political figures that there is today. And he was the mayor of the town that I used to live in when he ran for president, and I knew all about Pete Buttigieg. So yeah. I don't know if any of you guys, if you followed closely along with Pete Buttigieg's campaign, but while he was in the running for president, there's some shit that went down in his police department where they were serving a warrant arresting a black teenager, and that kid was live on Facebook during the warrant execution. And after they took him into custody, some of the police officers on scene started reenacting the KKK scene from the movie Django Unchained. And I happened to be watching that Facebook Live because one of my kids was friends with the kid who was getting arrested. Anyway, I leaked that story to the national news media. I sure did. Sam Telfer, even when we were not cool, there was no denying that you were genuine in your activism. Hearing her talk like that is upsetting, to say the least. Thank you, Captain Epton. Izzy B, you need to make a series about your life. You are so interesting. You know what, Izzy B? I can't even argue that. Pipe down there. Yep, that's not Yaba. The kids just got home from school, so that's the noise you're hearing. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and end this live stream. We have a very, very busy weekend this weekend, and I'm really looking forward to it. The weather is beautiful. We have a new puppy, and I hope you guys go out and touch some grass this weekend, as we will be, and we will see you back here on Monday. You might see a live stream or two out of me this weekend, just covering maybe some Amberlynn, hopefully some Life by Jen if she will upload some damn content, maybe even some Angie fucking Lee. Seattle Fatty. Not to mention they talk about you and Yaba trying to silence black creators when that's all Callie and her minions have done since being called out. Can't argue that. Thank you so much for the super chat, Seattle Fatty. I appreciate you. And we will see you guys soon. Very soon.